What happened to the Samanea Mall in Westbury, Long Island? Unlike your typical malls on Long Island, like the Broadway Mall, the Roosevelt Field Mall, this mall was tacked on to Fortunoffs, over 150,000 square feet, and is the destination you would go for furniture, rugs, pretty much everything you could possibly need as a homeowner. This was also known as Fortunoffs at the Source, and if you're a Long Islander, you may remember calling this the Source Mall. That's surely what I called it growing up. But this would close down in 2009, and with the Fortunoffs being abandoned, this mall was left to rot. And now what's happening is we're seeing a little bit of a revitalization of it, and as we walk inside, you're gonna see this all different types of action sports and weird type of vendors. This mall's really underwent a transformation, but there's still a lot of stuff in here that's abandoned, such as the food court, which you're gonna see, but there's still a lot of hidden gems, such as the art on the walls you're gonna see. Guys, there's a lot of cool stuff in this mall. We're gonna take a tour around it today, see what's going on with the Samena Mall. Comment what you think this is called, because I have no idea. What happened to the Samena Mall in Westbury, Long Island? This is Grossman World. Let's go take a look. Take a trip with us into this mall, and right as you walk in, I mean, take a look at this. Instantly greeted with beautiful urban-styled art. Give a shout out to the artist right here, AJ La Villa. You're gonna see artists of all kinds spread throughout this mall, and it's really beautiful because no other mall has stuff like this. Let's take a trip, guys, because this is about to be really cool. I mean, this is really something else. And we're just gonna pan and kind of just walk and just admire what's going on here, because I've never seen a mall like this, and I think this mall is severely underrated. Maybe one of the most culturally in tune malls that you're gonna get. I want you to comment if you know the artist here, because you're just gonna see all kinds, and they just highlight people of all things. This one is done by Cody James NY. I mean, look at the detail on this. And let's go 0.5 if you can, if you can't really capture it all, because they go top to bottom on this stuff. Wow. The Samena tree, I want you to comment what it's actually pronounced as, but I think it resembles this tree. I think that's why they're doing it. This mall's really underwent some wild changes over the years, and you're gonna see here there's some abandoned buildings, which I'm gonna showcase. See, they even have art showcased in the glass. Do not touch. I love this cartoon style. And take a look over here. What happened to the Fortunoffs in Westbury, Long Island? If you grew up on Long Island, this store is infamous. Who remembers this for bridal registry? If you were getting married, you had to come here to apply for your china and anything you needed. This entire Source Mall was attached onto this in 1997 to hopefully attract more guests to the area. But this Fortunoffs in Westbury opened up in 1964. And then they later produced this entire mall to hopefully bring more attention to their store and just generate more sales. Fortunoffs had everything. And this place was open for a long time, up until about 2009, I believe, right around the crash, the housing crash. Who went to the Fortunoffs in Westbury? And even in there, you can see there's some stuff remaining. Obviously, a jewelry case. I didn't know they were doing jewelry, I gotta be honest. This Fortunoffs had everything. It was definitely the main staple, the main hub as far as it goes. But now we have some of these miscellaneous stores, which you're gonna see. Still open for business, kind of still in the aftermath of Fortunoffs closing. I mean, if Fortunoffs closed in 2009, they've really been trying to rebound into this mall, but you're gonna see the remains of a lot of abandoned stuff here. This is the service center, and they got rugs for days. They even have the rugs down here on the floor. Just take a look at these elevators, guys. I love the art on both of these sides. I mean, pretty wicked, right? I mean, when do you see a mall that has stuff like this? I mean, I wish more malls did this. Take a trip with me upstairs to the Samena Mall in Westbury, Long Island, where this is quite possibly the most abandoned mall you will see on Long Island. I mean, is this weird or what? There were dozens of closed vendors here, but unlike a year or two ago, I would come here about a couple of years ago and it would be really abandoned. But now they're kind of making a resurgence. You're going to see some really cool vendors, some really out-of-pocket type of things. I want you to comment what you think of this because it's pretty odd. Like, take a look over here. You got an escape room. That's pretty bizarre for a mall, right? You wouldn't typically see something like that. I think it's pretty cool. But look over here. Plenty of abandoned stores, guys. There is absolutely nothing going on here, and it's so crazy because this is like a super long hallway with absolutely nothing going on. It's wild. This one looked like it was going to be an interactive metaversive arena. Survive the haunted house and take on the ultimate challenge. That place is no longer. This looked like it used to be a Foot Locker, but not anymore. I think it's really funny. All of these stores have a different type of aesthetic to them, just on their exterior. They all have different things going on. It's pretty weird. Would you start a business here? This is a really weird mall. I mean, I thought about it personally because there's no action. There's really zero foot traffic. We're walking in here on a Friday right now, right in the afternoon, and there was absolutely nobody in here. Do you guys go to the Cheesecake Factory in Westbury, Long Island? This place is definitely the main hub of this mall. I mean, everybody goes here. And you can see they kind of have this exterior. You can walk out after eating dinner and explore this mall and kind of efforts to get some foot traffic in here. But guys, I don't think it's that effective. You can also enter this Cheesecake Factory through the exterior of the mall, as you guys know. And there are more restaurants coming in here to kind of trying to do the same exact thing. But to much success, I don't know. Take a look at this. Leonardo furniture, store closing. This is massive. 30 to 70% off. We're recording this in November of 2025, so if this is still here, let me know. But you can't even enter in here right now. Pretty sweet deals. Now, you're going to see some of the stuff that's going on here that's a little bit avant-garde. Take a look at this. iFlyTrapeze.com. I have some friends who are involved with this. I would like to shout them out. The Trapeze homies who are about to set it off and take flight. It's pretty damn cool, and I think is just something of what's to come in this mall, because there is a lot of interesting adventure type sport places you're going to see in this place. Even have axe throwing. I mean, are you guys really taking in how much open space there is here? I've never seen something like this where there's so much just open space. It says over here there's going to be a board game cafe and tavern. Again, weird type businesses, and I'm definitely a fan. I'm not hating when I talk about this stuff, guys. I'm very interested to see how this transforms. I mean, look behind me. I mean, when have you been to a place where there's 50-foot walls for rock climbing? This is the type stuff you would see in like the Mall of America or the Dream Mall in New Jersey, Minnesota. You wouldn't see this stuff on Long Island. And I feel like that's the type of destination they're making this spot. Is the Samena Mall underrated? Westbury, Long Island. Here we go. Here are some of the abandoned food spots in the food court over here. What happened to the Cinnabon in Westbury? This place is completely dead, but it looks like they're starting to open up some food spots. We're turning this mall around. Take a step back, take a look at this Walk Express. Completely abandoned. But take a look at this beautiful art over here, guys. I love it. So cool. And I want to show this one over here. So damn cool, but seems like we're still on the up and up here. We're trying to get some more businesses in this place. There are a few that are coming, but there are still some remnants of when this place kind of fell from grace. But who came to this mall in this heyday? Did you guys ever come here when there was some action going on? Because I don't think I ever went to this mall when there was, none of my friends were ever like, oh, let's go to this mall. It was kind of just like the red-headed stepchild of Long Island malls, but you guys tell me. We have the TGC Zone. I was a Pokemon fan back in the day. I don't know if they would put stuff in here. This says Pickleball Smash It Lost and Found. Any item recovered will be held for 30 days in the Smash It therapy. I don't know if they put it in there. I don't think so, but nothing going on in there. A lot of vacant buildings, guys. Pickleball, the new smash craze, has taken over this mall. Are you guys into pickleball at all? Kind of a mini tennis, a more user-friendly type tennis. Tennis is a really difficult sport, really high learning curve, and pickleball kind of helps that, aids that, makes it more friendly, more enjoyable, more like arcade-like. Do you guys play it? It is all over this mall. They even have some video game simulations over here. And shop by the pound, some people were telling me to make a TikTok over here. Not much action at these vending machines. You would think if they want people to come here, they would kind of restock these things, but I think it's way more money to fill this up than just to leave it as is. I mean, I don't know the operation costs, but I don't think any of these people are making money, but God bless these businesses. Be sure to show them some love if you're in the area, because I think if I need to find some activities, find some action to do, I will definitely be coming back here. Now seeing how it's been transformed. This is pretty much a whole amusement park. This is the Empire Adventure Park. But take a look at here. This is kind of like the magnum opus as far as all of the art goes. When I came here a few years ago, there was actually a Warhol museum, and it was huge. It was huge, and they had so much like art installations, not just paintings. They had like installations. Who remembers that when they had this here? Really beautiful stuff. And as you guys know, in the parking lot over there, there are tons of cars just kind of dead stock being held here for storage. We're going to take a trip down and see what else we can find. Again, guys, this is built in 1997. Take a look at the ceilings up here. This is a huge mall, and you have the open glass ceiling concept, similar to what they added in the Broadway Mall. And you can also find it in the Roosevelt Field Mall. I mean, they love these sun roof type ceilings. But I gotta be honest, I think this mall culture is kind of dying. People are getting rid of these enclosed malls. They want like the open concept. They want stuff similar to the Tanger outlets, walking more in nature. Let me know what you think of that. But I think something really cool here is the 99 Ranch Market. Entire grocery store in here, guys. That's super weird for a mall. And I'm not going to take a trip in there, but let's go around this way, actually. And of course, we have the iconic Dave & Buster's right here. This one I come to a lot. This place is one of the only stores that has stayed here and it's kind of survived the long haul, while all of these upstairs vendors, like you saw, have came and went. They have multiple month periods and then they just go away. This Dave & Buster's has been here for years at this point. You can enter through the outside, or you can even enter through the mall right here. Kind of a segue to get to the other side of the mall. I'm going to transport you to the other side, see what else we can see in this mall. But what happened, guys? Because this is one of the only stores that's still here. This is what remains of the Samanea Mall, guys, in Westbury, Long Island. Look how dead it is behind me. Yards and yards and thousands of feet. And yet, there are absolutely barely any vendors in here. This is so strange. Do you guys come here? I know this was built in 1997, but I feel like this place never had a heyday. I don't know if you agree, but I kind of like how this mall is transforming right now. You have really interesting businesses, from pickleball to adventure parks to drag racing and video games, immersive experiences. I've been doing some reading, and it sounds like this is what malls kind of want to transform into, because whereas retail has kind of died off because of e-commerce, now they're like, let's put a roller rink in. Let's put an amusement park in. Let's put some trapeze into it. I think it's a really unique idea, and I think when you have this much square footage of a mall, you need to get creative because you need to fill out these tenants, you need to make rent every single month. And without having tenants, you're gonna go out of business. So I'm glad to see them getting creative. I'm glad to see them forming their own identity. I hope you guys feel me on that. Did you guys come here? You let me know. But we're gonna take one last trip through here, and I actually want to point out this sign. We missed this coming here originally. I'm gonna give you guys some history. So this is 1919, the Hempstead Plains Aerodrome. The property is renamed Roosevelt Field. So is that the Roosevelt Field Mall? In 1938, the Northern State Parkway was constructed. In 1950, they acquired the site that we're on right now, and they transformed it into commercial space for the community. But it actually operated as an airfield. And that's pretty interesting because it kind of has that vibe in here. I believe there was an airplane in here somewhere. 1964, as I said before, the Fortunoffs opens its door to the flagship store. And look what I said, guys. Fortunoff at the source. And then in 1997, the mall at the source opens for help for the Fortunoffs. Cheesecake Factory, P.F. Chang's. And now in 2020 and beyond, they are continuing to redevelop this mall into something really special. It's come a long way since the Fortunoffs back in the day, but we're at it right now. What do you guys think? This is one of my favorite stores to go to, the Grand Piano Store. I love coming here and fiddling on the ivories, as they say. All types of brands, but take a look at this art over here. More magnificent murals. So cool. Let's keep taking a journey through.
What's going on, bro? How are you?
Very well, how are you?
Good, thank you.
P.F. Chang's, as you see, another popular place right next to the Cheesecake Factory. They have this entrance closed right now, but if you like to eat, if you guys like to get your food on, you know. Once again, a huge shout out to iFly Trapeze. I have friends in the group, so I definitely know what's going on. Take a look at this, guys. This one may be my personal favorite. Too many humans and not enough souls. Protects your heart. That's pretty badass. But look at this really cool art here to kind of finish off our journey. This mall's actually underwent some changes, guys. Who remembers like the aircraft in here? I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I know the Roosevelt Field Mall. Who remembers the blimp in the food court? They got rid of that. So did the Source Mall go through a similar change? A lot of aircraft stuff going on Long Island. I feel like Long Island is definitely a hub as far as that stuff goes. Especially if you go to Farmingdale, there's literally private airports where people land their smaller planes. And just as I'm talking about, take a look. You got this beautiful mural of a lady with a bird, and up there's the blimp and a tiny little plane. Thanks so much, guys. Let's wrap it up outside. Who remembers Fortunoffs at the Source in Westbury, Long Island? Once known as the main staple in Westbury, Long Island, the Source Mall was added in 1997 and featured a variety of vendors, a food court, even an aircraft hangar. But now, with the store being closed since 2009, the Fortunoffs backyard store is all that remains. Featuring the iconic all lowercase and blue font, this is now a backyard store. But if you grew up on Long Island, you'll remember Fortunoffs being a main staple here for your bridal engagements, for furniture, anything you possibly needed. Now they're rocking the backyard store. What happened to the Fortunoffs at the Source? Once again, guys, this is the Samena. I think they need to work on this name, guys. If you're an OG Long Islander, they call this the Source Mall. But if you're really old, sorry, they call this Fortunoffs at the Source. I know my parents went here all the time. Maybe not for the bridal stuff, but they had all types of things in Fortunoffs. But this mall's really went through some changes. It's really exciting. And it's right next to the Roosevelt Field Mall, so I always feel like it's been slept on, kind of like in the shadow of Roosevelt Field Mall, because Roosevelt Field is huge. I mean, you got 3 stories of retail, from Macy's to weird types of vendors, everything you could possibly need. This mall is trying to make its own identity, so I want to hear what you guys think. Do you shop here? Are you going to come here now that you've seen some cool stuff such as rock climbing and pickleball and all this types of stuff? It's pretty interesting, pretty weird, and I think you guys should visit it if you want to see some cool art and just kind of take a stroll and be like, wow, this is kind of super weird. I like this mall a lot, and I hope I gave you guys some cool exposure, showed you something that maybe you didn't know existed. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Grossman World. I've been your host, Blake Grossman. This has been the Samanea Mall, or Fortunoffs at the Source. Grossman World, I'll see you next time.